Good morning, everybody. This is January the 9th, and here we go again. So I hope y'all are having a great day. The weather in Florida is kind of nice. You know, we're about in the 50s and 60s, going to be in the 70s and 80s today. But, you know, I got a few things to talk about today. Uh, you know, everybody's talking about this wall and why we should do the wall and why we shouldn't do the wall and all this kind of stuff. In the meantime, look around you. Every freaking house that I can see from my direction has a fence around it. Why would you not want a border around the country you live in to control the people going in and out of your country? You know? I just don't understand it. Look at that. Looks like it's snowing outside. Look at that. I put you a little snow window back there. That's kind of nice. But I think we need the wall. I mean, if you don't think we need the wall, that's fine. But I think we need the wall because, you know, there's walls all over the place. I mean, you know, you want people to come into the country and not pay anything, not pay taxes or anything, all that kind of stuff, and get all this free stuff. There are new people that are coming into office and into play. They're screaming and hollering everything's going to be free. College is going to be free. They're going to give them $500 or $1,000 a month for housing allowance. Whatever. It's going to free everything. I don't see where they're going to get the money from to do that, because I'm retired now, so I don't pay any more in. I've paid in for the last 50 years, and hopefully I'm done with that. But anyway, we'll move on here. You know, I don't. I remember the '60s when they started all this stuff, and there was a lot of gun running and different stuff going on, and drugs and drug testing. You know who was doing all that? The good old U.S. government. Yeah, the CIA, to be more exact. Yeah, they had this new drug that he wanted to test called LSD. And who they tested on? The military guys. Yeah, the military. So they take these young kids in, not knowing, you know, tell them, you know, it's just a drug experiment. We need to do some drug testing to make sure this is safe for everybody. And I don't know any doctor that prescribes LSD uh, to anybody. I mean, really? LSD. And there's a lot of other drugs they were also testing, mind controlled stuff. Now you can even get on YouTube and look up some of these documentaries on mind control and what the CIA was doing back in the '60s with mind control, and they kind of lean towards the idea that maybe, you know, some speculators and some conspiracy theorist people say maybe the CIA hypnotized this guy that went and shot JFK. I mean, hey, it could happen. I wouldn't count anything out. But anyway, let me check see what's going on here with my web page. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. Let's see. I'm just gonna close it and start it over. So if you see a little glitch, that's what it is. Go back to it and try to turn it back on here. I know it's probably still working fine on your end. But I just wanted to see the replay and make sure everything's working right on my monitor up here. So yeah, I mean, it's just the drug thing and the gun running. It's not the normal, average, everyday person. It's there's only a few people have the money to do something like that, and that would be governments. Governments. So, and then of course last night we were talking about the wall. Well, before we move on to that, I just let's see. I messed up my stories here, and I got my stories kind of put together here. So, talking about money and stuff, talking about the billions, $5 billion Trump's asking for. Nobody's talking about the. I don't know how many billions of dollars it was that Hillary supposedly, reportedly, put on one of our big military planes and sent it over to Iraq. And they rolled that money off. There was pallets of money. Did you know that the printing presses in the United States at the Pentagon or wherever the printing presses are that print money, they print money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Did you know that? Where does all that paper money go? That's crazy. But according to the news media back in the day, Hillary sent pallets and pallets of $100 bills over to Iraq. Excuse me. But nobody's saying anything about that anymore. Nobody's tracked it down to see where it's at. Nobody's tried to get it back. It's just gone. It's just gone. I don't know if it's just millions or billions, but at some point in time I heard it was billions of dollars. And when Bill and Hillary went into office, they always boasted and always brought up the fact that they were poor people. They're so poor they didn't have enough money to do nothing. Well, that's okay. But now, since she's had that job with Obama, and she went overseas and came back, and all that money went over there, and now they've got their, uh, they've got more money than they know what to do with. Well, where did that money come from? It would come from donations from foreign countries. It's just crazy. And you can't tell me that the other people that work and live around them in D.C. and the other politicians that are involved in and in the middle of all this stuff that's going on with their government right now, that they don't know what Hillary did with the money, and they don't know where the money's coming from that's being donated to their foundations that's making them rich beyond your imagination. They're not any Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or anything else. They don't have any inventions. They didn't start any businesses or anything like that to make money. They got their money the politician way. They embezzled it, supposedly, maybe, possibly. So if you take American money and you send it to another country, and in that country all of a sudden starts donating money to your foundation, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty plain that's what's happening. So that's unbelievable. And then Trump, if a wall is immoral, this is what Trump said last night. Why do wealthy politicians build walls and fences and gates around their homes? If it's so immoral, to have a wall around the country and to control the people coming in and out of the country, why do the people that don't want the walls have fences and walls? Why do they even have a door on their house? I mean, I can understand the door for weather and stuff like that, but why do they have locks and armed guards? If they were so passionate about helping poor people, they would go down to California, to Anaheim, California, and take some of those people that are living on the street in tents, and they would welcome them into their house so they wouldn't have to live in a tent on the street. Okay, let's see. I'm back here now. Had to take a little break. I had a little scratchiness in my throat or something. But the stock market just opened, and it opened 121 up. Now I was looking at the futures earlier, and all the futures were up. There was a few things that were ticking down a little bit, but for the most part they were all up, just like yesterday. So Sunday night before Monday started, the futures were down, and our stock market went up. Normally it's they do the same. Monday night the futures were up, and Tuesday our stock went up. Tuesday night the futures were up, and our stock is going up. The U.S. stock is going up. So normally that that don't work that way. So that's why you say you can't call the stock market. You don't know what they're going to do. These billionaires and these guys that are trading millions of shares at a time, they're all in a room together and they say, well, it's your turn to make some money today, so what are we buying and what are we selling? And that's how it goes, up and down. That's why it goes up and down. Um, Getting back over here, uh, let's see. We was talking about Trump and the walls, and why it was immoral to build a wall around the country, but it's not immoral for these politicians to build walls and fences and armed guards and all this stuff, armed drivers for their cars and stuff. But it's okay. It's okay for little old me and you that don't have much to not have armed guards, not have fences, don't have any protection. The police departments and sheriff's departments and all that kind of stuff in your local areas probably hurting and needing more personnel to take care of the guys on the bicycles are riding in the wrong place to stop them and jaywalking. You gotta give tickets for jaywalking and stuff like that, and they're really hurting for more personnel to take care of those terrible crimes that are being committed. But anyway, Sean Hannity commented. He said the border crisis is a matter of life and death, and the Dems are burying their heads in the sand. That's what Sean Hannity said on his show last night. But I have to agree with him to some extent. And then you have the news media. The news media, I tell you, in the United States, to me, is a disgrace at this point. I mean, I have never seen a news media attack a person, much less a sitting president, than I have today. And CNN is the worst. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I can understand them critiquing what he says or something, but before he even goes on the air and says anything, CNN's Jim Acosta asked Kellyanne Conway if Trump was going to tell the truth on national TV. Now that is just nasty. That's just nasty. I don't get it. I don't know why anybody would watch CNN, especially Jim Acosta, when he's disrespecting the Oval Office, the high the highest guy in America, and so far has been doing a pretty good job. CNN has got to be the worst channel on the planet. I don't know how people are so gullible and why people are watching and listening to CNN, because I used to be a fan of Wolf Blitzer, and he told it like it was. But in the last few years, he's just been going along with all these other guys. And this is me telling you, because I used to watch Wolf Blitzer almost every day before I got rid of my cable subscription, because there's so much crap on cable that, well, it was satellite. And every news channel you turn on, they're using the exact same picture, the exact same news clip of the exact same thing, and they all of them together piling on to one person. It's just, it made no sense to pay $80 a month for TV just and to watch news, to see all these news channels bashing people instead of reporting news. We have important things that need to be reported on, like the deaths from the people coming across the border, like the winter storms up north. That's newsworthy, and I haven't really seen anything about it. I was talking to my brother-in-law up there, and he says it's 20 degrees and snow on the ground, and it's pretty cold up there, and causing a lot of issues. But you don't see nothing on the news about that. And in Florida, Silver Springs, we usually have a lot of manatees there, and we're down. Last check, there was only 50 manatees down there, and there's usually a lot more than that, and they don't know where they're at. That's an environmental thing that really needs to be looked into, because they probably went and found warmer water somewhere, and I would think they would have some of them tagged so they could locate them and find out where they went. But I don't know. And then I watched Donald Trump on the news, not on the news, but his address to the American people last night, And I didn't hear him say anything close to declaring a national emergency. But CNN reported President Trump stopped short of declaring a national emergency. He didn't say that. He didn't even. He didn't go nowhere near saying anything about declaring a national emergency. But CNN, for their talking points and whatever, trying to get people hooked. Clickbait. You're talking about clickbait. That's clickbait because Trump never said one thing on his address last night about declaring a national emergency. And Schumer and Pelosi, they keep saying no wall. So, but they want the DACA thing fixed. They want the people that are here now, that have been here for years, to something be done with that situation. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really up on all that. I listen to it. I don't understand everything I hear, but I do have Latino friends that are saying, we went through the line, we went through the classes, we learned about America, and we took the oath to America, and we have the American flag flying, and we don't understand how this government lets other Latinos or any other immigrant person come into the country that don't want to be naturalized or become a citizen of the United States. They don't want to become a citizen. They want to change to America like the country is that they flee from because it's so bad that they have to come to America. Yeah. So the border wall, it's a little bit like, the whole country, everything's working together. You got, it's different stuff, the military, the government, the private industry, everything works together to make everything work. So that's kind of like your car or your truck. It's got all these moving parts and stuff, right? So if you're driving down the road one day and something gets a hole in your oil pan and it starts leaking oil, you say, well, you know what? That oil needs to go back in the ground because that's where it came from. So instead of fixing the hole in your oil pan, you just go to the store and you keep getting motor oil and pour it in your motor, and it keeps leaking out. That's kind of like the border. If you want to fix, you got to fix the problem first, and then deal with the other stuff. Because if you don't plug the hole in the oil pan and you just keep pouring oil in there, eventually the oil level is going to go down enough and you're not going to notice it. It's going to ruin your motor and you're going to have to replace it. So if they keep coming over the border, we bring in 1 million people from around the world every year, and they swear to be a citizen of the United States. Every year, 1 million. So in my lifetime, that's 60 million people. They started it in the 60s. And so for them to say that we're not doing enough and we're not letting people come into the country is just completely ludicrous. We're all immigrants from another country. Our ancestors came from another country. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. You gotta have control of your borders. When I was a kid and the first time I went to the beach, I was I was looking out at the vast, and this was as a kid, and I didn't know anything about borders, or I didn't know anything about illegals trying to come into the country. I never thought about that. I was a kid, but I was at the beach and I looked up the beach, I looked down the beach, and I said, "Huh." I said, I don't see nobody for miles. I said, so anybody from anywhere around the world could get in a boat and just come right onto the beach and they'd be here in America. And I never gave it no more thought. But now, as an adult and as someone that worked for 50 years and paid taxes, buy a house, you pay property taxes. You buy a car, you pay taxes. You buy gas, you pay taxes. And you pay, 20-30% on your income on taxes. And you just think, all these people coming in not paying nothing, how are we going to pay for that? Well, that's your taxes. That's how they pay for that. So, let's see. Now, I'm in Florida, and DeSantis, I hope I say that word right, governor, took office yesterday. And, yeah, I voted for him, but I don't understand his first business that he takes on is trying to declare that an amendment that we voted on to make convicted felons, to give them the rights to vote. Now, it wasn't for people that commit murder or any it's like you can be a convicted felon with a traffic violation, or in so many little things. You can be in the wrong place at the wrong time around the wrong people and be convicted of a felon. And those are the people that they're talking about. They're not talking about lifetime criminals and stuff like that. But he is challenging that after the citizens of the state that voted him in at the same time voted to make this a law that the convicted felons, after they served their time and their parole or probation or whatever was over, that they could be eligible to vote again. I don't really see anything wrong with that. I mean, if they have a job, they're paying taxes. They probably bought a car. They probably either paying rent or bought a house, and they're paying property tax. So that means they're paying taxes for schools, taxes for streets, taxes to pay for your police, fire, sheriff's office, and all that kind of stuff. If they paid their debt to society, why shouldn't they have a voice and be able to vote? I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. If you already paid your dues, and you're not a hardened criminal like convicted murder or something, which I don't know why they would be out anyway. So let's refresh this stock market here chart again. I'm going to see what it's doing this morning. Okay, it was up whatever I told you earlier, 170 or something. Now it's down to 94, but it's still in the green. And I don't know why my YouTube thing's not working here, so I can check out my chat channel and stuff, but it's just not working. So I won't be able to do the live chat today. It just keeps spinning in a circle. I don't know what's going on with that. Let me try something different here. Let's see. Let me try one of these other videos from somebody else and see if it works. Nope, that's not working either. So, must be I have too many things going at one time on my computer. So what I'll do later on is I'll put me another computer in here and use it for my monitor and stuff, and use it for whatever, so I can see what's going on and do some chatting and stuff, see how many people's online, because right now I can't even see that. But that's okay. I appreciate everybody watching the show. If you would, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Make your comments below if you wish, and last but not least, let's get on down here. Let's see. The Kodi Media Player. They're working fantastic. This is one that I use here. Actually, I build them. You can find them at worldtvondemand.com. It's Kodi Box. And this is one of the remotes. I have a couple other remotes, but they're similar to this that we use on those boxes to stream stuff through the internet. And if you have any questions about that, you can call the number right there, 407-385-3662. Or if you go to the website at worldtvondemand.com, you can also contact me there. And we can talk about those boxes, see if it's something that you'd be interested in. Because you can watch all these videos, YouTube videos, live videos, stuff like that with the box. You just click on the YouTube icon and watch. And go to your search engine and search for whatever it is you want to watch. And that'd be just fine. But why this ain't working is just not, I don't understand it. I do understand it. It's probably too much going on, but that's okay. So, okay, this is Harold. I might come back in a little bit, but I'm going to sign off for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the little show this morning. I hope you come back. And we'll talk about some other stuff, and maybe we'll get some people calling in. So if you want to call into the show, that's the number, 407-385-3662 when we're live. And we'll get talking about either, we can talk about the stock market, we can talk about the Kodi Media Player, we can talk about current events on news, and you can talk about sports because I don't watch sports, but if you want to say something about sports, that's fine. Or anything else that's going on right now that's on your mind. And like I said, I appreciate you guys watching the show and joining my channel. And I'll have another show for you soon, or video. And this is Harold, and I'm going to be signing off, baby. And I'll have another show or video for you coming up soon. You guys have a fantastic day.